Imagine being stuck inside a crude oil pipe for 2 days in the middle of the sea. Just the thought of such an incident can scare anyone. But this is not just imagination, it is a real incident. 5 men, Christopher, Kazim, Yusuf, Rishi, and Faisal, found themselves in an unimaginable nightmare. But only one of them would live to tell the tale. The exact moment was recorded by a GoPro camera attached to one of the divers, and what it unveiled shocked the entire world. This is the tragic story of the Paria diving disaster. On February 25, 2022, in the Caribbean, these 5 individuals were working for Paria Fuel Company. Their job was to repair and maintain underwater fuel pipelines. The pipe was U-shaped and used to transfer crude oil from berth 5 to berth 6. Air plugs had already been installed inside the pipe to prevent hydrocarbons from escaping. For their work, a special chamber was created called the habitat bell. It was used to release air pressure inside the pipe so that the workers could operate in a dry environment. On that day, their task was to remove the air plug from the pipe. However, as they removed the air plug, a water cyclone formed due to the difference in air pressure. This cyclone was so strong that within 90 seconds, they were sucked 120 feet inside. Fortunately, the pipe was not straight, and an air pocket formed, which helped the divers breathe. The divers were shocked and confused, having no idea what had just happened to them. The flow was so strong that it immediately broke their bones. Additionally, the darkness made it impossible for them to see anything. According to experts, there should have been 1,200 barrels of oil inside the pipe, but it was a little low. There was low-density air inside and high-density air outside. As soon as they removed the air plug, the change in pressure caused them to be sucked in along with the water. Now the question was, how would these people survive inside a pipe full of crude oil with oxygen levels rapidly decreasing? The only way out was through berth 6, because berth 5 was closed and connected to the ocean. However, they didn't know which direction to take due to the darkness. Terror set in, and they had to decide quickly. They chose to move in the direction of their heads, but it wasn't going to be easy. The pipeline was not straight, which meant there were areas with no oxygen available. If they started moving towards berth 6 while holding their breath, they risked getting stuck in an area where they couldn't breathe. 2 of them, Christopher and Faisal, decided to go further and assess the situation. Their plan was simple. Both would escape first and inform rescuers about their conditions. All the members agreed, and they started moving forward. After a few seconds, they found another air pocket where they could rest. Meanwhile, a miracle occurred. Christopher, who was in the front, noticed that oxygen cylinders they had lost due to the sudden accident were lying in front of them. This meant they could stay inside for a longer period, but due to the darkness, they couldn't see how much oxygen was left in the cylinders. They moved slowly toward berth 6, but suddenly, Christopher's oxygen tank emptied, creating panic between the 2 divers. After struggling for a few seconds, Christopher's tank collided with another cylinder trapped in an air pocket. Unfortunately, the mouthpiece of that cylinder was damaged, leaving Christopher no choice but to put the opening in his mouth. Crude oil also entered his mouth, causing immense pain in his throat. Meanwhile, Faisal's oxygen tank also ran out, and he was in extreme pain due to broken bones. Faisal told Christopher that he couldn't go on and had to move forward alone. Christopher continued onward, and after struggling for an hour and a half, his oxygen cylinder collided again with a bend in the pipeline. This was a critical moment for him. It could either lead to berth 6 or berth 5, and if it was berth 5, all their struggles would be in vain. However, without thinking about the outcome, Christopher made one last attempt. Due to the low oil and water level, it was impossible to swim to the top. In desperation, he began beating the pipe and shouting for help. Fortunately, some people heard his cries and rushed to assist. They threw a chain into the pipe, and Christopher was rescued. As soon as he emerged, he informed everyone that his friends were still inside, fighting for their lives. Rescuers were ready to save them, but a phone call changed everything. It was from the higher executives of Paria Company. They instructed the rescuers not to enter the pipe because the company did not have the appropriate equipment for the rescue mission. Meanwhile, The other 4 members were still waiting for help. Christopher decided to go back in and rescue them, but the company stopped him. Despite begging for assistance, the rescuers began beating the pipe to pinpoint the location of the trapped divers. The 4 members inside responded, hoping that help would arrive until another 48 hours had passed. Unfortunately, Paria company did not send any help, and the 4 members were left inside to die. Now, I am going to show you the real GoPro footage of the exact moment when this tragedy occurred. If you enjoyed this documentary, please subscribe for more amazing content.
I'm trying to come up. Chris, General. Here. Here. Right behind you, man. All right behind you? You're right behind me? Yeah. Huh? You don't know when to come up? It's not going up. Who making all that noise? Come on, all I mean, let's figure it out. We gotta go. We gotta start moving. Yeah. Where you at? I don't know. I'm trying to come up. Trying to come up. But don't worry, all is good. All is good, and we're going to get through this. I'm standing front line, I'm trying to come out. Huh? Yeah. Who is that more than this? Yusuf? Oh, Yusuf? How long you have to walk before you meet Feisy? You and Feisy was together all the time? Right now we are Feisy. Right now. Who else with you? We are Feisy alone. Cars with you? Right there. Right there where? Cars, everything alright with you? No. Any items break? All legs break. Your leg, alright. Five, anything happen to you? No. A five? No way. Yusuf, anything happen to you?